Hey everybody, it is time to get back into the horror discussions here on Hit Rewind. I'm Michael. Kersey's on the other side.
Hey, how's it going? Looks like we're kind of going back to our roots a little on this one.
I don't know. Oh, you mean like the trashy stuff?
Yeah,
I thought you meant
definitely straight to VHS, sleazy kind of thing.
I thought you meant like me being awkward at the beginning and not knowing what to say.
No, that's normal. That's our usual.
That's my persona. Captain Awkward here. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a Dentist double feature, and it just got re-released on Blu-ray, like special edition from the Vestron Collectors series. And sometimes I gotta wonder what they're doing. Looking at their catalog, I'm like, really, The Dentist? That was high on your list? Okay.
Hey man, people are You don't even understand how many people are clamoring for these classics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
Brian Usna at his best.
Well, Brian Yuzna does have a built-in cult following. You know, I mean, he's responsible for the Reanimators and Society and what was it, that fourth Silent Night, Deadly Night? All of these, that's odd. I think all of these have been released by...
Did he do Dagon or was that Stuart Gordon?
You know, they're so intricately linked, those two.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
Yuzna has that company in Spain called, I think, Filmfax or something like that, or Filmex, and he would produce a lot of the movies that Stuart Gordon would do before and after his like big break. Because you know there was the years that he spent with like Charles Band with his Full Moon and Empire, and then there was a couple. He literally did a Disney movie in '98, so. His career was weird, and rest in peace, because he was a very unique director. So is Yuzna. I think Yuzna is more interested in the gore. Like, his stuff seems a little bit stranger. And I kind of wish that he had dived more into that with these movies. Like, it seems like he's holding back.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a budget reason. It could be studio interference. Who knows? I mean, like, with a movie like this, I doubt the studio even knew what he was doing. But
maybe, yeah. Well, also, you're talking Corbin Burnson was a TV guy, and he had a couple hits in the theater, but by this point, his career had kind of dried up. So I can see maybe if he balked at too much gore. But by the second one, though, it seems like he's relaxed and he's now into the performance. I think the second one's way better than the first one.
It's debatable, but we can get into that.
Well, so what I don't like about the first one is that it seems just more like the Dentist from Hell, like that kind of thriller, like more for like the mainstream audience, maybe something they would sell to, you know, like USA or something, or Lifetime Channel. It didn't seem that dark, except for like halfway through he starts to hallucinate and he sees like horrific imagery.
Right, it has that glow to the movie that kind of feels like a Hallmark or like a softcore porno. I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, yeah, it's like a fog filter or it's low quality print. Like, you ever notice that, excuse me, like when you watch 80s Italian films or like, you know, Filipino stuff, their film quality, the stock, always seems like it's blurry and soft focus.
Yeah.
That's what this looks like. And... I was actually kind of surprised the budget was $2 million for both of them because really nothing happens. Like, you know, like it's just all one set basically, and there's no really big stars in this at the time, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is weird.
In terms of like kind of practical effects with the shots of inside the mouths and stuff, that actually looks really cool and very visceral. It had me like just tensed up and coiled up when he would be like poking around in people's mouths.
Yeah, if you look at the credits, especially in the first one, there's like 5 different special effects teams doing different things. And I'm guaranteeing you, they had to build oversized mouths in order to get those effects. Like, you're talking massive mouths or whatever, and get the camera in there. Oh, watching...
Right, so you can't get the camera behind there unless it's massive.
God, the teeth being just shredded apart. Oh, my God. I mean, I think most of us fear the dentist. Anybody who gets off on the dentist is like, okay, that's odd.
Yeah, unless you're like Bill Murray from Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah. There's no one that's like clamoring to see the dentist.
I mean, like needle shots and grinding your teeth up and like removing pulp, and you never know what they hit because you're numb. But you always get this feeling. You ever get this feeling when you're with a dentist where like, uh-oh, and then like his assistant's like, would you like this thing that you weren't expecting to help stop whatever is happening now?
Yeah, I was at the dentist a couple weeks ago, and just like the sound of the scrape, they didn't warn me they were going from like poking to scraping my teeth. They were
Yeah.
just kind of checking my gums, and then suddenly this ungodly screech of that metal on my tooth. Just like
Oh.
I literally jumped, and the dentist like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "You didn't tell me that you were gonna do that. That freaked me out."
I love it when they're like, this will just be a little pinch. No, it fucking isn't. No, it isn't. And they don't tell you that it's going to be more than one little pinch. You got like 10. Like, okay, are you done with the Novocaine already? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like, oh, your gums. It's like, oh yeah, your gums are bleeding. It's like, yeah, you're poking at them with a sharp metal stick. What do you think is gonna happen?
yeah. Oh, your gums are bleeding. No kidding, really.
Yeah.
Wait, so
But anyway, that's basically like the premise of this movie is sort of that innate fear of the dentist or anxiety about going to the dentist, and it basically just plays on that.
yeah, but it goes
And
an extra.
those are the best parts are those moments. The whole thing surrounding him and his wife is not that interesting.
No,
to
not
be
really.
honest.
It's just they want to give an explanation to why he was a good dentist and now he's not. And it turns out he was just kind of crazy the whole time. It's just this pushed him over the
he was
edge.
always a prick.
I kind of would be more interested if he was just like some weird drifter who kept assuming the identities of other dentists or whatever, and he just got off on it. Like, he didn't want to be a good dentist. He liked to cause pain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's not. Sorry, go ahead.
what I was going to say is just like one of those things where they really tapped into, and I don't recall really any movie capitalizing on the fear of dentistry.
Yeah, like I said, Little Shop of Horrors, but that's about it. I can't really think of many.
Yeah, but that plays it for jokes, like macabre
Right.
jokes. But yeah, I remember I had known about this movie, and I think both of them had been out by this point because HBO back in the day, they would pay big bucks for direct-to-video premieres before they ever actually hit video. But that's what they're always designed for. Friday night was action, Saturday night was horror. And I remember they were pushing The Dentist 2, and I was like, what the fuck is The Dentist 1? How do I not know about this? And like, they're like, The Dentist 2, he's back. I'm like, but it was brought up at a dentist appointment. And he was asking me about the movie. I was like, oh yeah, I know about it. He goes, did you see it? I go, no. And he goes, it's hilarious. I go, it's a comedy? And he goes, no, it's just so horrifically stupid. And I was like, okay. But then, halfway through the appointment, him and his assistant were having a severe argument. I didn't realize that it was husband and wife, and they're having an argument in my mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're getting their anger out on my mouth while they're arguing at each other. Yeah, that was horrifying.
See, like, make that into a movie.
Yeah, I just want to be like, good.
Actually, no, that actually did happen, didn't it? In Dentist 2, right?
I can't remember now. I know there's a point.
There was a scene where he saw his love interest with another guy, and that brought back all those horrible memories from Dentist 1. And then he's like working on a patient, and this actually like it was probably my favorite scene in the movie. Where he's working on a patient, and then he's being like really passive aggressive and angry, and then like going on to like full blown just like aggressive towards his love interest.
Oh yeah.
At the same time performing dentistry on this woman, and she's like the patient is like agreeing with him the whole time just so that he won't like hurt her. I mean, it sounds horrible, but it was very funny.
The first movie when he starts losing it and he just like disintegrates that molar, and she's like, "Doctor, can I see you in the?" If I ever hear anybody at the dentist office say that from now on, I'm just gonna assume the worst possible. Oh great, I have my mouth.
Yeah, his staff put up with a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, so the lady in the first movie, the tough one, he ends up killing. Well, he kills everybody basically, but the tough one who stands up to him, she's from my hometown. Her name's Molly Hagan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I want to say, like, the first one, there is a slower build-up, and I kind of like the fact that we already know where he will go in the second movie. Like, there's no, like, hey, origin story, bullshit. I prefer not to have that.
Yeah, I think what I enjoyed more about the first one, is just, like, how silly it looks. It's very much, like I said, it's like low-rent porno or Hallmark movie kind of vibes to it, but it's like hard rated R version of that movie, which kind of makes it almost a parody of itself, which I enjoyed that. But on a second viewing, I think it would be incredibly boring to watch.
I wonder if those sets were used for porn. Really, I wonder. That's all I got.
Say what?
I wonder if those sets were used for porn when they weren't being made into dentist.
I would not be surprised. I mean, there's literally, like, she's banging the pool boy. Like, it literally is acting like a porno. But anyway, regardless, another thing that I enjoyed about it, I think, was there was a little more variety in what was happening. So, like, there's like releasing anger or being violent or even like sexual fantasies. Like, I felt like there was a little bit different with each person, and there's kind of this progressive, like, he's escalating and he's going to take it out on this girl, and we don't know even like what he's going to do to this girl, and it kind of adds some tension to it that I felt was kind of missing from the second one.
Were you shocked to see Mark Ruffalo, a young baby-faced Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah,
like
holy shit.
Yeah, but you see from like get-go, this low-budget movie, he's still giving a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he probably rose to the ranks. He was giving it his all.
The second one takes place in a whole different town because he's this. He got arrested at the end of the first one, right? He didn't really get severely hurt, yeah. So he just gets arrested. And in the second one, he escapes from the mental hospital and runs away to another town. What I thought was interesting is I thought they were going to ditch the wife aspect. I kind of like the fact that she was still hunting his ass.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
But in the first movie, I don't know if it was all imaginary. Didn't it seem like he completely fucked up her face? But in the second one, it's just that he cut out her tongue.
To be honest, I do not remember. I waited too long in between viewings that I forgot.
Okay.
I thought he killed her, like, outright, so I totally forgot that happened.
Yeah, it's just weird, because in the first movie, it looks like he mutilates her whole face, but also he keeps seeing things that aren't there and hallucinating.
Right, yeah.
At first it's like, so I get, it's more realistic if in the first one, when it's like, if you're going to kill somebody, all he does is like put a needle in the artery or whatever and injects it with air. That's not a big, like, dynamic death, but, it works. Or he just slams someone's head into the wall. Stuff like that. Or when he sees the imagery of the teeth, they're just black. But then they get kind of crazy in the second one, like razor blade mouths, and just the gore is a little bit more splashy.
Yeah, the cockroach under the teeth or something like that was really creepy. Also, I just wanted to say that, like, the cover of the film, the poster or whatever, is one of the best posters I've ever seen. Like, as a kid, I remember, like, walking, like, in Blockbuster, seeing that VHS tape and just being, like, mesmerized by it. Like, my mind just going crazy. Like, oh my god, what's happening in this movie? Like, it's just like this jagged metal that looks like teeth. It's so cool. Actually watching it, it didn't go exactly what I thought it was going to happen. Yeah.
Well, and I
thought there was going to be like he was going to make like monsters out of people or something.
Oh wow, yeah, like his perfect creations. The human centipede, but with mouths.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he dives more into the character's personality, like his tics and obsessions or whatever. I really enjoyed his performance in the second one. It didn't seem so generic. Like in the first one, he's just yelling a lot and really aggressive. Yeah, this one, he seems to be lost in his own little world he cannot get out.
Yeah, there's definitely kind of added stakes to this. He's being hunted, so that people like trying to find him. He's trying to cope with everything that happened because he's actually presented as a real person in this movie.
Yeah,
despite like he is insane, but like he doesn't want to be, and so there's kind of that like push and pull that they kind of do, which doesn't always work. But it was more interesting than just him yelling at people for no reason.
Yeah, well, it's like, and he doesn't want to be a dentist. He ran away from all that. He just ended up killing the guy out of just like a weird, like circumstance. It's not like what it was with Stepfather. Remember Stepfather? He just literally just go family to family to family to family. He has no interest in really stopping himself until he finds the perfect family. The dentist doesn't want to be a murderer. He just can't seem to control himself.
Yeah, and going to a small town with a terrible dentist, feeling like, he has to fulfill that role because everyone hates the dentist that's there anyway. And so he has, like, the sense of, professionalism and proficiency that people want from him.
Yeah.
And so it kind of pulls him back into that.
Well, and his
Which
OCD.
it's silly on its surface, but it does work for a movie.
Yeah, and his OCD with like other people's teeth, his obsession with them and creating a perfect mouth is really interesting too.
Yeah.
And other than that, I really can't say anything. I got the movies dirt cheap. Like the physical copies are like $8 if you demand physical copies. I think I got it 2 for $5 or something. So
you
really
can watch both of them for free on Tubi.
Well,
maybe they take off by now. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
hate
where I watch them.
I hate those fucking commercials, man. It's the same 5 commercials over and over and over. So.
I'm honestly shocked that I can't pay to have no ads. I wanted to. I still want to. I wish they had that option.
Yeah, Tubi has like the best catalog. Tubi feels like that one video store that wasn't Blockbuster, wasn't Hollywood Video, and they had a much deeper catalog of like obscure stuff. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Right, yeah. It's always fun to just scroll through that because, like, with Netflix, you know what you're going to get. With HBO Max, you know what you're going to get. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get with Tubi.
Yeah,
well, I think get some grade A fantastic stuff and like bottom below the bargain bin stuff.
So what I think Tubi's model is they don't outright buy much of anything. They'll slap their name on something like low rent, like Shark Side of the Moon or something like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think they have a deal with these companies say, hey, you can put your movie on here and we just split the commercial revenue and that's it. I don't think there's like a pay model because they can't divide up that money correctly. I'm not sure.
It would shock me. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, well, that is it for this episode. We have another one coming up right after this where we talk about the first 3 Prophecy movies. So we will see you later or whatever. You know what I mean. Hear you later. You'll hear us later. God, I'm incompetent. Bye.